Hey guys, welcome back to Asagao Academy. I'm Mecha Kara, and I know I said last time I had something relevant to this. Wait, is it over here? Is it on this bookshelf? Is it hiding? Right here? Is it? Was it? No. Wait. No. So what I wanted to find was I have the book. I have the book that Satch gives you in the library. It's The Princess Bride. I have it. It's on my bookshelf, buried behind other things. But I do have it, which I think is, it's neat to me. And I'll tell you guys now, we're going to do our best to romance Satch, because I actually haven't seen that. I've seen Gerard's storyline, and I've seen Pro Jared's, and Matt, Pat, and Stephanie did JonTron's on GT Live. So that happened. Yeah, but I would like to romance Satch, because I like the stuff he puts out on his channel. I also really like his voice. I have a crush on Satchel's voice, and I'm not ashamed of this. But anyways, back to the endless wall of narration. I awoke the next morning with what felt like a lizard in my throat, which is exactly how I feel after reading for almost an hour. Mai was already up, shuffling through her school bag with an enigmatic grin. The first day of school. Hana! Hana, you're finally awake! Her voice sliced through the air like a knife, and I winced. She was definitely a morning person. It's time for the first day of school! Aren't you excited? I can't wait to see what's going to happen. What do you mean? Is something special happening today? Something strange always happens on the first day of school, especially to someone like you. She winked.
What?
Someone like me?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean. She smiled and started messing with a pile of papers on her desk. Shaking my head, I got out of bed and pulled my uniform out of my closet. My palms sweat as I held the gold vest and blue jacket. Was it really possible for things to be different here than they were at home? What if the problem wasn't actually the school? I shook the thoughts out of my head and changed into my uniform. Oh! What is it? You look so cute!
Really?
Really? Heat crept up my neck.
Yeah!
Yes, completely. Your hair matches your uniform so well. You look like a flower blooming straight out of the ground. Thank you. Water stung the back of my eyes, and I turned to start packing my backpack. Why was I getting so worked up about something as little as this? I must have gotten less sleep than I thought. Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. I'm just happy. How dumb was that? I started crying at the first sign of someone being nice to me. I took a deep breath to steady my nerves. What an oddly menacing laugh. All the air left my lungs as something like horse hooves slammed against my back. You'll do just fine. Don't worry. This is going to be awesome. I stiffly peered over my shoulder. That was you?
What?
Huh? Mai stood behind me, her hand raised. Somehow, she had the strength of a bodybuilder. Nothing. I was just about to zip my bag up when I spotted the book Satch gave me lying on my nightstand. The Princess Betrothed. He said that if I ever needed to be transported somewhere far away, I could take it with me. It was pretty good so far. Maybe it would be smart to bring it along, just in case I had no one to talk to between class periods. Would I need it for my first day of class? Always. I put it into my already overfull bag, biting my lip. It never hurt to be prepared, right? Talking to someone who always had a book with them in high school and middle school. And now, honestly, that I have Audible and Kindle Reader on my phone, I always have multiple books with me at a much more convenient size than the Sword of Shannara hardback trilogy that I carried around for a long time in 7th grade. No shame. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Stick with me and you'll be fine. I opened the door and together we stepped into the hallway, merging into a steady flow of chittering girls and fruit-flavored perfume. Oh my! I did not know we lived on the same floor. No way. Really? That's so awesome! Now we'll be able to catch up. Whatever happened between you and... The river of girls shifted as we headed down the stairs. Suddenly, I found myself surrounded by a bunch of people I didn't know.
What a jerk.
Oh wow, what a jerk he turned out to be. Nice exclamations faded into the buzz of voices in the air. Oh no. What would I do if we got separated? Anxiously, I searched the crowd of girls for Mai, but I couldn't find her. Everyone was dressed in the same Asagao uniform. It was difficult to tell anyone apart, and being so short really didn't help the situation. Excuse me as I stifle a yawn. As we turned the last corner down the stairwell, I saw a flash of red hair a little ways in front of me. Mai? I reached between two girls and tapped her on the shoulder. Huh? Oh, who are you? The girl's eyes flashed, almost like a jolt of electricity shot through them. I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else. She said nothing and turned away. Before I knew it, I stood outside of Primrose House, watching the flow of girls disperse across campus. Mai was nowhere to be seen. I couldn't even hear her chirpy voice. Oh man. I took a deep breath, biting my lip. This wasn't a big deal. I could go to class alone. But I didn't even know where the building was. I reached into my backpack and dragged out my class schedule. Homeroom. 206 Poppy Hall. Which one was Poppy Hall again? Weren't the classrooms on the other side of campus? I picked a direction and began to walk, trying to ignore my rising panic at the thought of arriving late to the first day of class. As a third year, where no one knew me, all of the people staring.
Hey!
Hey, you okay? You look a little lost. Someone called out to me, and I turned around, almost jumping for joy, when I froze. A Normal Boots jacket. He was part of the Normal Boots Club. I could practically feel my tongue swelling in my mouth. If this was a Normal Boots Club member, I had to make a good impression. He was one of the founders, right? Then he must be JonTron. Yes, I'm new. I don't know where Poppy Hall is. You a freshman? No problem. My class is in Poppy Hall. I'll walk you there. Really? That would be wonderful. Thank you. Was this really happening? He began walking towards a large brick building in an enthusiastic manner, pumping his arms up and down like he was in some kind of show tune. I fell into step beside him. I didn't notice when Mai pointed him out to me yesterday, but JonTron had big brown eyes and a warm-looking face. He was basically a human puppy. I glanced up at him out of the corner of my eye. A bird. A bird on his shoulder. Birds always made me uncomfortable. Birds make me incredibly uncomfortable. Something about the ease with which they could poke out someone's eyes. That's exactly why birds make me uncomfortable. Is something wrong? Why'd you stop? No, nothing's wrong. He followed my gaze to the bird on his shoulder.
Hey!
Oh, this is Jacques. Isn't he cute? Nice to meet you. Jacques is a robot bird. It spoke. Yeah. He put his hand to his shoulder. Jacques jumped into his palm. Jacques is a robot bird. See? Told you. Hello. Jacques' eyes gleamed a dangerous red when he spoke, but nothing else suggested he wasn't a normal bird. In fact, if I hadn't known better, I would have said the red in his eyes was painted on. That's amazing. Jacques twitched his head to the side, examining me in return. The more he looked at me, the less afraid I was. What are you looking at?
What?
What? Nothing. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, Jacques can be a little sassy. Sassy bird. Who are you calling sassy? I'm not the sassy one. I don't forget to feed you. Jacques, that was one time. I was alone and starving in the frozen tundra of this empty world. Loveless. Afraid. Ignore him. I've been bringing him with me to the drama club, and he's taken a little too well to it. I see how this is. Shut me out like I have nothing to add to the conversation. Jacques retook his place on John's shoulder, this time facing away from us as if miffed. We resumed our walk towards Poppy Hall. I'm JonTron, by the way. Call me John. Hana, nice to meet you.
Hana?
Hana? That's a cute name. Thank you. So how long have you had Jock? Since middle school. We've been together for 4 years now. Ain't that right? I'm not listening. Oh, there you are. Okay. Sorry, lost the dog for a second. Yeah, well, I love him to death. I don't know what I'd do without him. It seemed like life would be a lot easier without him, but who was I to say? We arrived at the brick building, a white sign surrounded by poppies, declared it to be, unsurprisingly, Poppy Hall. Are you sure? You sure it's not like Rosewood Hall or something strange like that? Why would I go with Rosewood? What is... Oh, I'm tired. Ignore me. Which room are you in? Room 206.
Really?
Seriously? Yes? That's my homeroom! We're in the same class. John laughed and clasped me on the shoulder. The S. Wonderful. I guess I'll be seeing more of you then, right?
Yeah.
Right! Together we entered Poppy Hall. Poppy Hall was lined with fluorescent lights and Asagao blue lockers. The lack of students milling around in the hallway indicated we were a bit late. We ran up the stairs and made it into the classroom just as the bell rang. My heart caught in my throat. Thankfully, the teacher hadn't come yet. Instead, students clumped into tight pods and milled around the classroom, catching up on vacation news.
John.
Thank you so much for showing me to class, John.
See you later.
No problem. I'll see you around. He waved and disappeared into the wriggling mass of students. I glanced around the room, looking for an empty seat.
Hana.
Hana! Mai peeled herself out from between a cuddling couple. Was that JonTron? Were you just talking to JonTron? Yeah. Mai's eyes widened, and I couldn't help feeling a little smug. I realized I didn't know the way to class after you and I got separated, and he offered to walk me. Mai emitted a high-pressurized squeal. JonTron walked you to class? Oh my gosh, you have to tell me everything. She grabbed me by the wrist and pulled me to an empty desk in the back corner of the room, right next to the window. I saved you a seat. I slid in and took off my backpack, hooking it on the side of my desk. I was a little bit worried that the books inside were too heavy for the bag to handle, but so far it held up well. Sorry we got separated, by the way. It can get a little chaotic sometimes. So tell me, what happened? What did he say? What did he smell like? Does he have peach fuzz? Is it rough? Wait, what? These are very important questions I'm asking. You need to answer them. Was his hair super silky or did it have the roughness of a dog's coat? Before I could answer, the door to the front of the room slid open and a tall woman strolled in. The class went quiet and obediently slid into their seats. My heart beat furiously, blood rushing through my ears.
Class.
Good morning, class. The teacher's melodious voice slammed through the room, calming the buzzing hive of students back from break. My shoulders relaxed and my fear ebbed away. I'm your teacher, Shizuka Wakahisa. Wakahisa? Sure. You may call me Miss Shizuka. The emphasis she placed on the word led me to believe calling her Mrs. wasn't a mistake she would take lightly. Some of you might have noticed that we have a new student this semester. A hail of murmurs passed through the class. Some people glanced at me. Gonna take off my glasses, even though I'm reading and I should wear my glasses because I can't. The pressure on my head, it hurts. And I just started this section. Nope, there was Sophia again. Would you like to come up and introduce yourself? No, not really. I nodded, stood, and slowly walked to the front of the room, counting my steps to make sure I wouldn't fall. I faced the class, took a deep breath to introduce myself, and noticed a familiar face in the crowd. There was John, sitting with two other boys wearing normal boots club jackets. One of the boys, the tallest one, was staring at me, the barest of frowns on his face. Something about him seemed really familiar. Wait, he was PBG, wasn't he? The other founder of the Normal Boots Club. Suddenly, all the strength left my knees. What should I do? Why was he frowning? Was it possible I had already made a bad impression on him? You had to be kidding me. If he didn't like me, what did that mean about everyone else? Wouldn't they follow his lead? I swallowed. The faces of the class began to congeal, forming one giant blob. You moved from Amaririsu, right? I nodded and swallowed again. Then, like a beacon of light, I noticed Mai smiling and giving me a thumbs up. That's right. What would Mai do in this situation?
Yes, I've just
Yes.
moved here. My name is Hana Mizuno. I transferred from Ameririsu Public High School.
Sounds like polka. That's why it sounds familiar to me.
I'm really excited to be here. I hope you'll all take good care of me from now on.
I bowed my head to the class, and they clapped politely. Clapped. I need to go to bed. When I looked up, PBG wasn't frowning, but he still seemed oddly confused. Maybe he always looked like that. I always look like that. It's my face. And thank you. You may be seated. I returned to my seat, heaving a small sigh. The hardest part of the day was over. Shizuka began to talk about the standard procedure for the semester, the rules for classes, when homework was due, and that sort of thing. It was all very similar to my old school, and I spaced out in spite of myself. A brief flicker of movement caught my eye. PBG again. I glanced at him, and his head snapped back to the blackboard. What was his problem? Class continued on like that until finally the bell rang and it was time for lunch. I stretched her arms over her head and yawned. Man, I hate the first day of class. It's always so boring. Weren't you looking forward to it this morning? Something about exciting things happening? Well, yeah, but it already did. You met Jontron, didn't you? Now I've got nothing left to look forward to. She sighed. And I was hoping to see Jared before class, too. She slouched and fell across the front of my desk. It seemed like this would be happening a lot. Is Jared really that hot? Mai's head snapped back up, her eyes flashing. What did you say? If you stare directly at him for too long, your nose will melt off. I've seen it happen.
What?
What? Anyways, let's head to lunch. I'm super hungry. Oh. I looked at my backpack. It held up well throughout class, but I worried that if I didn't take some of my stuff out now, it might do some permanent damage to it, especially with Satch's book in there. I couldn't exactly afford a new backpack. I need to put something in my locker first. But if we don't go now, they'll run out of sesame seed buns. Oh. That's okay. I'll just go on ahead. Come find me, okay? Alright. I was so lucky to have someone like her as my roommate. Quick as I could, I went to my locker and shoved the book inside. As good as the book was, I was infinitely happier that I had Maya around so I didn't have to read it. Without her, who knew what I'd do with myself? Especially with PBG staring at me like that. Maybe I could ask her what was up with him when I met her at the cafeteria? It might just be the way he was. Cheered, I headed for the cafeteria. I carried my melon bread through the minefield of people, searching for the now familiar sight of Mai's red hair. Where is she? I couldn't see her anywhere, and there were almost no empty seats. All around me, students circled each other, laughing and joking, sharing bites of food and splitting the cost for sodas. Suddenly, I felt very obvious and very alone. Isn't there anywhere I can sit? Just then, I spotted a table at the front of the room. A lone boy sat at it, stabbing his spaghetti with the vigor of a Roman general. He was having a hard time with it. I moved closer to him, working up the courage to ask to sit with him. Well, no wonder. He was eating his spaghetti with a spoon. Wait a second. This guy was in my class, wasn't he? I saw him that morning at the front of the room, and he was wearing a jacket like the normal Boots Club's, but different. A gold and gray jacket with an 8-bit block on the front. Was he a member of another club? Or maybe he was friends with them? Hey, what? Hana! Oh, Mai! Mai appeared between me and the boy, who glanced up at us before returning to his spaghetti. Thank goodness I found you. I saved a table for you in the back. Oh. I looked at the boy and then back at Mai. Come on. She grabbed my shoulder rather forcefully and pushed me to the back of the room. Hey, what's wrong?
Well...
You are so lucky I got there when I did. That kid is Brutal Moose. His real name's Ian. He's from the Hidden Block Club. The Hidden Block Club? Yeah, the rival club of Normal Boots. He's really weird. I mean, She looked around her to make sure no one was listening in, but we were completely alone in our little corner of the cafeteria. He speaks in Comic Sans. Whoa. Yeah, it'd be better to stay away from him, especially since you've already gotten to know some of the normal boots guys. What are you talking about? I only just met John today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right. I saw the way PBG was staring at you. He totally likes you.
Really?
Really? Is that what you thought it was? Either Mai was blind, or she had a serious case of wishful thinking. No. Hana is oblivious. That's what that was. Oh, totally. It was cute, just like my favorite manga. You meet in high school, fall in love, and then go off and fight aliens together. Why does that sound like Full Metal Panic? I don't think that's gonna happen. Have some faith in yourself. That's totally what's happening. So now that you're in good with PBG, can you introduce me to Jared? Oh, was that what she was getting at? A hot flash of doubt seized me. Was it possible that Mai only liked me because she thought I knew the normal boots guys? That couldn't be the case, though. She was so nice. Still, looking at her shining and eager face, I couldn't talk myself out of the idea. I actually thought PBG didn't like me.
What?
Why would you think that?
Well...
He was glaring at me. Man, you just don't understand. It's a love triangle. A love triangle. Wait, a triangle now? I can see it. Stars practically erupted from her eyes. PBG, I can't. But Hana, I love you. But
PBG.
my maidenhood. Where are you going with this? I slammed my fork onto the table. Mai looked pleased with herself. Eva, I want you to know I love you very much, but that's you. You can't fight me on that, because that's just you. Okay, I'm just kidding. You really cute when you blush. You almost match your hair. That's not fair at all. I beg to differ. Still, I searched my mind, eager to change the subject. That was an impressive scenario. What? No, it wasn't. I just made it up on the spot. I laughed nervously. Oh, so that girl who was talking to me when we got separated? Mai told the story of her past friendship with the girl, like they were eternal arch nemesis. Nemesis? Whatever. Apparently they had some bad blood. I nodded, choosing to take the time to relax. Before I knew it, we were finished eating. We got up and tossed our trays together. As I headed towards the door, though, Mai hesitated. Hey, I forgot something back at the dorm. Oh, need help? No, I'm totally okay. I'm just gonna go get it. I'll see you later, though, right?
See you later.
Okay, see you in class. I waved and Mai sprinted off in the direction of the dorms. Alone again, I crossed my arms and headed back to Poppy Hall. Large groups of 7 or 8 people were laying out in the sun, playing catch and eating lunch on the lawn. It looked like fun to have so many friends like that. I smiled. Maybe this new school really would be better than my last. Without students inside of it, Poppy Hall looked a bit like an abandoned hospital. My footsteps echoed as I climbed the stairs to the 4th floor. With a sigh, I opened up my locker and pulled out the book Satch gave me. It was a good thing I brought it after all. I stepped into the classroom and saw a flash of movement by the window. A boy sat on the windowsill, and he jerked up when I came in. He was silhouetted by the afternoon sunshine, so I couldn't quite tell who he was. Hello, I'm sorry. Did I bother you? The boy stood and shook his head, then crossed to a desk on the opposite side of the room. As he passed, I was able to see him clearly. Another normal boots jacket? The normal boots. They're everywhere. This guy. He was Shane, from the Normal Boots Club. How on earth did this keep happening to me? Shane sat down at his desk, fidgeted with his hands a little, then turned to look at me. You're the new girl? I nodded. My name is Hana. It's nice to meet you. He nodded. Shane. Silence filled the space between us. Panic built up inside of me. This was my chance to get in with the Normal Boots Club, and I was blowing it. I walked to my desk, sat down, setting the book on top of it. You, Shane looked at me, unsmiling. You're part of the normal boots club? Yes, I am. Why? He spoke as if it were a challenge, almost glaring at me. Oh, I just saw your jacket, so I trailed off. The jackets are really cool.
Okay.
Yes, they are. Silence again. He seemed skeptical, as if he expected me to crawl out of my skin and reveal myself to be a large amphibious reptile. Lizard people. I had to do something. Who knew when another chance like this would come? But Shane didn't seem friendly. In fact, he seemed downright suspicious. Surely he wasn't onto me already. Maybe it was better not to risk it? I chewed my lip and opened up my book, finding the page I ended on the night before. Shane's stare still stung, hot on the side of my face. He wasn't looking away. I stared at the page of my book, rereading the same sentence without grasping any of what it said. Finally, a small group of girls entered the classroom and Shane looked away. The atmosphere was broken. I heaved a sigh of relief. What was up with these normal boots guys? John was really nice when I spoke with him, but PBG and Shane seemed to hate me. They were anything but normal. I waited for Mai to come to class, wanting desperately to tell her what happened, but when the bell rang and Miss Shizuka started teaching, Mai still hadn't come. Class came and went, the bell rang, and I was alone. PBG stared at me for the entirety of class period, his face growing more and more menacing by the minute. How his face wasn't stuck in a permafrown, I would never know. There we go. Shane and John didn't bother talking to me as they left the classroom, and the other students paired up around me. Hey Mimi, would you like to engage in casual discourse this evening? Yeah, of course. Well, why are you talking like that? I stuffed my book into my backpack and headed to the dorm. With a sigh, I unlocked the door to my dorm room. As soon as the door opened, I heard...
Hana!
That.
What?
Wait, what? Maya and I lay in a heap on the floor. I'm so glad you're back. She wrapped her arms around my head and nuzzled me. What are you doing? Come, look! She got off of me and helped me to my feet. Without Mai's face filling my vision, I saw that something had changed. Oh my goodness! The dorm room looked nothing like what it had before. The posters and fairy lights were still up, but now the window had light pink curtains on it. Let me go to bed. That cast a warm haze around the room. I keep yawning. A brand new white carpet was on the floor, pillows were piled high in a mountain on the top bunk of the bunk bed. Even our chairs had been replaced with new, cushier leather ones. What happened here? Sorry I didn't tell you, but I wanted to surprise you. I thought this would come in yesterday, but it was delayed by a day. I wanted to set it up to be a big surprise. I'm still not done yet, though. She gestured to some small potted plants arranged in neat rows on her desk. Wanna help?
Yeah.
Do I ever? God, I love gardening. We finished setting the room up, switching a few objects here and there in order to better facilitate the feng shui, which Mai told me was excruciatingly important. She especially wanted to make sure our room was filled with reds and pinks and coupled items, though for what purpose I wasn't sure. We collapsed with heavy sighs on the floor, then heaved great big yawns. It's not even the end of the day yet, and I'm so tired. Me too. Wait. She shot up suddenly with a jolt. We should get some ice cream.
Really?
Ice cream? Really?
Yeah!
Yeah, something to celebrate being roommates. The ice cream here on campus is genuinely good, I promise.
I don't know.
I don't know either. And I'm paying. Well, if that's the case, you made an offer I can't refuse. Yes, Tyrael. What do you want? You were sleeping so good. And now you're staring at me. The puppy's staring at me like I'm a crazy person. Sweet. Let's go. I would probably come across as a crazy person considering I'm sitting here alone in my room with one LED bar light on, playing a dating sim, talking to a webcam. Yep. The school shop was in a side building off the cafeteria, packed with instant noodles and giant bottles of soda. Students wandered the aisles aimlessly, clearly here more to spend time than money. Mai paid the cashier and we grabbed our ice cream cones, mine the one covered in sprinkles. Fucking love sprinkles. Whoa, this is delicious.
Yeah!
Isn't it? We're lucky to have such good food on campus. This place would be awful if we didn't. I nodded and was about to respond when I noticed a commotion outside. Ooh, let's see what's going on. Mai grabbed my arm and dragged me outside. There, 3 boys wearing the normal boot jackets were shouting at each other, each of their faces turning purple. This again?
What?
What are you talking about?
Mamma mia!
I am clearly the one who possesses the proper masculine form. Yeah, right. I'm taller than you and more attractive to boot. Come on, guys. Can you not see these muscles? Nick pulled back the sleeve of his jacket and flexed his arm. These guys always go on about weird stuff like this. They're very energetic. Oh yeah? Josh got into the downward-facing dog yoga position and grinned. Look at this butt. Just look at this. What I don't understand is why they don't just ask Jared. Oh yeah? Paul kneeled low to the ground, then took off at a sprint, heading straight for us.
Yeah!
Check this out. He sprang into the air in a graceful ballerina leap, spinning through the sky, and finally came straight for me? When I opened my eyes, I was sprawled flat on the ground, covered in dirt. Something cold and wet oozed into the top of my blouse. Hana, are you okay? I sat up. Chunks of ice cream fell from my blouse to my skirt. What happened? You ran into someone, you idiot. My uniform. It's ruined. For a few seconds, silence, then snickers rippled around me like the whining of cicadas. My throat closed up, water stinging my eyes. No, not this. Not again. I stood up, prepared to walk away with dignity when the entirety of the Normal Boots Club suddenly appeared in front of my face.
What's up?
What happened here? Seriously? Tears slid down my face. No, not here. I didn't want to cry in front of them.
Hey.
Crying in public blows, guys. Hana, are you alright? Going home.
Hana.
Hana, it's fine. I just want to be alone for now. I took all of my will not to run back to the dorm. I immediately changed into my pajamas and climbed into bed, reaching for my stuffed rabbit. What am I gonna do if this ends up just like last time? Mr. Bunny stared at me with his big, lifeless eyes. Okay, I'm good. I squished him to my chest, losing myself in his soft fur. The door opened with a soft click.
Hana.
Hana, are you okay? I rolled over in my bed to face the wall, pretending to be asleep. Mai stood in the center of the room for a while, looking at me. Finally, she sat down at her desk and began to work on something. The sound of her pencil scratching against the paper stilled my mind. I don't know how many hours passed, but eventually I fell asleep. I woke up to my alarm beeping, feeling only dread of the hours to come. After the nightmare that was the ice cream incident yesterday, I never wanted to take another step out of my room. I curled up inside my blankets as my alarm went off. It was only the second day of school, and I felt the same as I did every morning at home. Mai, of course, was already up, and I could hear her hair straightener clap shut every few seconds from across the room. I felt bad for letting the alarm go off for so long, so I slid my hand out of the covers to switch it off. Hana, get up, sleepyhead. I know you're awake. I didn't even have time to poke my head out before Mai's body slammed into the edge of my mouth, just bouncing me up. She jumped from almost halfway across the room.
Morning!
Ha! You can't hide from Mai! Sorry. I was breathless, and I paused to calm my heart before speaking again. Are you worried about what happened yesterday? No one cares about it, Hana. I almost forgot about it myself. She must have seen my face. She brought an arm around my shoulders and pulled me closer to her. For real, though. We're gonna go to class, and no one's gonna even mention that you made a huge fool of yourself yesterday. You could have put that better. I'm kidding. It might have been a big scene, but it totally wasn't your fault. It was Paul, alright? When you jump, you have to calculate your trajectory, like I did just now. He could learn a lot from a master like me. Get dressed and cheer up. I could bottle up your gloom and sell it to a wizard. And what if he used it for evil? You can't let that happen, Hana. Her smile was wide enough to bridge a gap between continents. The beginnings of tears pricked the back of my eyes, but this time they were for a different reason. I opened my closet and tried to avoid looking at the sad lump of clothing inside, slathered with dried-up ice cream. I only had 2 uniforms, which cost my dad an entire month's salary. If I wasn't able to get the stain out of this uniform, what would I do? Sighing, I took my second uniform off its hanger and slipped it on as Mai waited impatiently for me. Ready to go? I guess so.
Yeah!
Good. Just as Mai said, no one paid any special attention to me. Well, there were a few odd looks here and there, but nothing nearly as bad as what I was expecting. As the lecture went on, my anxiety for the most part faded. I took to staring out the window to avoid eye contact. A few boys were out on the soccer field playing. Wait, was that PPG? I scooted closer, trying to get a better look. Hana. At the sound of my name, I leapt to attention. If there's something more interesting outside than samurai death battles, please feel free to enlighten us. You came here to learn, not to contemplate the scenery. Yes, Miss Shizuka, I'm sorry. She turned back to the chalkboard and continued her lecture as if nothing happened. A few desks in front of me, a guy sitting next to Brutal Moose turned around and gave me a flashy thumbs up. I made a face at him, unsure of exactly what he expected me to do. Then Ian turned around and socked him on the head. The guy mumbled something to him, probably apologizing. Ian's eyes slid to me for a brief instant. Then he looked away. Were they looking at me because of what happened yesterday, or was there some other reason? I shook my head. There wasn't time for this. I had work to do if I wanted to keep my scholarship. After pages and pages of notes on Japanese history, it was nearly time for lunch. Okay, everyone is free to go. The work tonight isn't so hard, so don't grumble. You should work together to complete it if you have a hard time. Also, as you may be aware, the Flower Festival is coming up in a week and a half. This news was met with a few cheers as everyone started to pack up. Since you have the day of the festival off, our first exam will be the day before. There were no cheers this time. Romance is wonderful, believe me, I know, but try not to let the festival distract you, okay? That's all. See you tomorrow. Is Mountain Dew the best for your throat? No. Would water be better? Yes. Is Mountain Dew what I have right now, though? Yes. Miss Shizuka flashed her peace sign and winked as she walked out the door. What a weird teacher. That lecture was so boring. I walked beside me, a tray in her hands. We were shuffling through the cafeteria trying to find a seat. Didn't you say that yesterday? Probably, but it's true for today too.
Oh no.
Help me. I'm gonna die of boredom. We have an assignment to keep us busy, Mai.
What?
We already have work to do? How did you not hear that? Mai sighed dramatically, then leaned to the side and rested her head in the crook of my neck. I reached up to pat her head a few times, but she straightened before I could do it. Oh god, Hana, Paul's walking over here. He's looking at you. Does he look angry to you? Why is he coming over here? Do you think he's gonna kick you again? God, I hope not. The same Paul who humiliated me last night strode towards me. I instinctively backed away, but he kept coming closer. Damn it, Paul.
Hey.
I'm glad I found you. He didn't look angry to me. In fact, he was giving me an odd, lopsided smile. I wanted to make sure you weren't hurt or anything. You ran off before I could properly apologize. I looked down at my feet. It was embarrassing enough that I ran off crying like a little girl, but to know that I made them feel bad was even worse. Once again, what? Oh. There's dog. It's behind me now. At the same time, the image of my ruined uniform popped into my mind. I couldn't tell whether I was more angry or embarrassed, or whether I was feeling something else entirely. I got you pretty bad, didn't I? I think I ballerinaed too hard. He tilted his head to the side. It's a shame you're not wearing the uniform from yesterday. I liked the pink splotches on you. It matched your hair. A deep, sick feeling crawled up from my stomach to sit in my throat. My dumb, stupid hair. Everywhere I went, people made fun of it. I thought the normal Boots guys were different, and he was trying to apologize. How could he say something like that for me? To me. Not for the first time, I thought of dyeing it a different color, but quickly dismissed it. Paul was waiting for a response, Mai giving me a quick nod as if warning me not to mess this up. I mustered up my best smile, hoping it was at least somewhat convincing. It's okay. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I'm more than happy to pay for dry cleaning. Josh and Nick and I feel really bad about everything. We've never made a girl cry before. Well, not by physically injuring her, I guess. Thank you, but I was just going to scrub it in the sink. Dad and I could never afford things like dry cleaners, so I was surprisingly good at hand washing things. The thing's going to need more than just hot water and soap. Trust me. Tell you what, I have a friend who's a natural with that kind of stuff. I'll ask her to get the stain out for you. Just meet me later and bring your uniform, okay? I'll try not to kick you this time. Well, thank you. That's so sweet of you to offer to not kick me. Without giving me time to say yes or no, he nodded and turned to leave. He spun quickly back around. I flinched. Are you and, Mai, right? Do you guys have a table? The cafeteria is pretty full right now. You can sit with us if you want. Just for today. Yes. Yes, we'll go. Right, Hana? Hi. Lunch. With the Normal Boots Club? Maybe I really could become friends with them. And then no one would bother me again. Not about my hair or the ice cream incident. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Alright.
Alright, follow me, ladies. He led us to the middle of the cafeteria, where the Normal Boots Club sat with the table all to itself. Hey, you found her. You're Hana, right? I nodded, blushing as I took a seat at the edge of the table next to Paul. Mai forced herself between Jared and PBG. Her eyes were only a few sparkles away from forming huge hearts. Real subtle. So, Hana, we saw that you were upset and we're all worried. Are you feeling better? PBG looked at me, clearly concerned. My heart was beating hard against my chest, but I wasn't sure whether it was because I was nervous or because the sad look on his face made me want to give him a hug. Or maybe it was because I was about 2 inches away from Paul and only an arm's length away from all the other guys. Who knows? As I tried valiantly to open my mouth, whispers spread all around the lunchroom. Look at those girls over there. Who do they think they are? How come they get to sit there? I wish Senpai would notice me. Main characters get all the luck. Suddenly my thoughts turned dark. Could it be that by getting close to these guys I was setting myself up as a target instead of getting protection? My thoughts spun in my head. I was suffocating. PBG was still looking at me, even more worried than before. I'm fine. Thanks for your concern. Please don't feel bad. It was my fault for getting in the way. Sorry for causing such a scene. I should have controlled myself better. I hung my head. I wasn't sure to act around these guys, so I defaulted to extremely polite. My father would have been proud. Hana, don't apologize. It was Paul's fault. Right, Paulie? Nick shoved Paul, who looked exasperated. I apologized as best I could. Nick, give me a break. It was a relief that PBG wasn't staring at me anymore. Almost no one else was paying me or Mai any attention. Shane, however, was still shooting me quick, suspicious glances. It was almost like he didn't want me there, and I felt uncomfortable.
Hey, Hana.
How do you like it here so far, Hana? Good, how about you? I like it here. Thank you. Gerard smiled at me, then turned away. He picked up my food. The guys were all wrapped up in their own conversations, and Mai was busy preventing hyperventilation from being so close to Jared. I can feel his body heat. Oh dear.
Hey.
You doing okay, Hana? The smiling Satch turned to me. I know we can be overwhelming. You're fine, right? Yeah, I am. Thank you. Thanks for recommending me that book, by the way. It's been really good. Do you like it? That's great. I figured you would. It's really funny, but the narrator's annoying. Yeah, he can be a bit rude. He pushed up his glasses, then grinned at me.
Alright.
You were pretty quiet, but I knew there was more to you. I winced. Sorry, I can be a bit of a wallflower. No need to apologize. I'm sure we've all been wallflowers before. But that reminds me, the flower festival. He turned to the group, addressing them all. And as if on cue, they all suddenly turned to pay him attention. Who are you all taking this year? Right, the flower festival. Miss Shizuka mentioned it before. What is the flower festival? No one's explained it to me yet.
Well...
It's basically just a festival. Didn't you have those at your old school? We did have festivals at my old school, but they were basically just 40 kids grouped in one room sharing snacks they brought from home. Well, we had something kind of like them, but I stopped going.
Really?
Why not? They're so fun. I didn't really want to answer. There was no way I could say, well, my friends turned on me, so when I went, people pretended I didn't exist. But Mai was waiting for an answer, and everyone was looking at me. I'm just not into that stuff, I guess. Oh, well, maybe you'll like this one more. I will. The flower festival happens all over Japan around this time of year, but it's a big deal in Higanbana. That's the town right next to Asagao. There's apparently some kind of myth about flowers that's somewhat important. Supposedly, the founder of Higanbana was an old man who got lost in the mountains and almost died of thirst. This flower spirit came to him and offered him help in return for his vow to protect her home. He agreed, and she drained herself of all her water so he could drink. The man founded Higanbana to watch over the meadow in which he met the flower. In some versions of the myth, the man and the flower spirit fall in love. It's a truly romantic festival. One may hope to find someone with which to make a vow of eternal love, just as the man and the spirit did, and to live on to protect the one they love. He sparkles, guys. Jared winked, and Mai swooned. So during the day of the flower festival, there's a lot of stalls set up, and you can go play games and eat food or go flower viewing. Then at night, there's a special meadow over by the temple where you can go watch the flowers, and there's a bonfire and dancing. It's a lot of fun. We look forward to it every year. Asagao sells paper flowers and little booths to raise money for the school, too. So there's usually a big volunteer drive beforehand for people who are good at origami. Origami? I'm good at origami. Really? Shane is too. Maybe you should work together. Shane gave a tight-lipped smile. Somehow, I didn't think that would be happening.
Hey.
Hey, speaking of, I swear you rejected 10 girls last festival season. I mean, that's nothing compared to me, naturally. But there were so many girls with broken hearts, even I couldn't mend them all. You still hung up on your English girlfriend?
What?
Shane flinched, visibly taken aback. Then he shrugged. I don't talk to her anymore. Oh, Shane, I just want you to be happy, that's all. He wiped away a fake tear. Shane grimaced. What is this sleazy music? How great would it be if someone asked me, maybe even if one of the normal boots guys did? No, I doubt that would ever happen. Going after Satch. They were only letting me sit here because they physically assaulted me. I sighed and cut my beefcake with a plastic knife. So, any girls in mind, fellas? Besides me, Mai shifted nervously. Her eyes kept flickering from Jared to her french fries. She looked like a child who stole several cookies. Why? Jared spread out his arms and raised an eyebrow, a god waiting for names to fall into his lap. I'm thinking of going solo this year, to be honest. Yeah, same. Man, you guys are boring. You weren't much better, man. And I am on another level compared to you guys. I've already got my choice picked out. There was a kite clattering next to me. Mai had dropped her fork. Yeah, I'm sure you have. And it'll probably be a new choice tomorrow. Jared flipped his hair with his hand. You know me so well. There's only so much time to make so many different girls' dreams come true. I must find the one who is the most in need. So it's not even about which one you like, huh? Nope. And you make fun of me. Just then, the warning bell rang. It was time to head back to class. As everyone got up to toss their trays, I stood up and, overwhelmed with a sudden burst of feeling, shouted, "Thank you for letting me and Mai eat lunch with you today. I really appreciate it." Yeah, thanks. Hana was having a terrible day, and you guys cheered her right up. So, see you guys again tomorrow, same time? Mai tilted her head, eyes twinkling. Mai, Paul said we could only sit with them today. It's cool. Paul waved a hand in dismissal, almost dropping his tray with the other. The cafeteria is really crowded, and we have extra room at our table. People are too afraid to sit with us or something. Well, we did kick a girl yesterday. All three of them shrugged at the same time, then left the room, moving in unison like a team of synchronized swimmers. That's what I think of. West Side Story. Jared dumped his tray and jogged to catch up with them. My hands are sweaty. As soon as they were out of earshot, Mai took my hands in hers and jumped up and down. You did it, Hana! We get to sit at the popular table. I've been trying to do this for 2 years, and you did it in 2 days. She dropped her hands and made a, jokingly, I think, angry face. Main characters have all the fun. You'll be in pairs, painting a diorama, or a papier-mâché lamp. Anything postmodern. Then write a paper on design. Or don't. That works too. But remember, this project will count for 10% of your final grade, so work hard. Sound good? The only response was bitter murmuring. Miss Shizuka often ended with, sounds good, but she never cared for the answer. Alright, in the last few minutes of class, pick your partners and discuss your project plan. We'll continue next time. In a matter of seconds, almost all the desks in the classroom connected. I looked at Mai, but a girl, Mimi Santos, had already claimed her. Mai frowned at me as if to apologize. I scanned the classroom for a few other people I met, finding them already paired. I was going to be the only one without a partner. I prefer to work without a partner. I hate partner projects. Suddenly, the edge of a desk collided with mine.
Hey.
Guess we'll be working together. PBG sat in front of me with a cheeky grin. Didn't he sit on the other side of the room? How did he get his desk over here so quickly? I leaned over to look past him. He'd left a gaping hole and several lab students in his wake. Seeing my gaze, he turned around. Oh, oops. Sorry. He waved sheepishly. The boy glared at him. Well, for better or worse, we're partners. I guess we are. Sorry. Why are you apologizing? Wait, no, that's not what I meant at all. You're super smart. I'm just sorry you're stuck with me. You're pretty smart too, though. Right? Not that I knew. I guess. But I hate schoolwork. I don't care about it at all. 10% of our grade depends on what's running. That shit is why I hate partner projects. Oh, not that I'm going to make you do it all. I may not like school, but I'm not going to let someone else fail just because I think it sucks. I haven't done something like that since I was a kid. The girl got so mad. I learned my lesson. He laughed, hitting the desk and crinkling his nose. I didn't see what was so funny, but from the way he was looking at me, it seemed like I should. I smiled hesitantly. He stopped laughing and frowned at me, the same way he did yesterday. Do you like apple cider? I'm sorry? Or, pinball? Or what about magnolias? Yeah, I guess I do. You guess you do? But you... He sputtered, opening and closing his mouth like he was trying to eat air. I searched his face, wanting to help him out. He was clearly struggling. PBG leaned forward, looking into my eyes as if like he was deciphering the code. Really forward. So close I could see little brown flecks in his eyes forward. What? PBG moved away, his anxious look fading into a slight smile. Actually, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I was brainstorming a subject for our piece, but you didn't have any strong reactions to anything, so I guess we won't be doing those then. Like hell. The bell rang, and students started packing up. Oh no. We didn't get to pick a project. I'm sorry, that's my fault. I was messing around. But don't worry, I'll come up with something. Just leave it to me. He thumped his chest as he got out of his chair, striking a pose and giving me a wide, reassuring smile. He shuffled his desk back to his side of the room as I packed my things away. I didn't understand what happened, but maybe it was better to forget about it. He didn't seem to want to explain. I left the classroom, thinking to wait for Mai, but instead PBG trailed me into the hallway. He cleared his throat, and I turned to face him. I tilted my head back, an uncomfortable degree. He was tall, but he was scratching his neck, avoiding eye contact. So, I know you said you were fine at lunch, but are you sure you're okay? I mean, you really freaked out yesterday, so... He crept its way into my face. My chest itches. No, I'm alright. As long as you're fine. If you need help with anything, you can rely on me though, especially since... The uncertain look crossed his face again. Well, never mind. You're heading back to the dorms? Yes. Nice. Me too. We can go together. He pumped his fist into the air. I glanced into the classroom. Mai was still talking to Mimi, looking like she was about to rip the girl's head off. She wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Sure, let's go. But as we turned to leave the hall, we were interrupted by someone wearing a yellow and gray jacket. The rival club's jacket. My heart stopped. Standing before us was a tall man with cheekbones like no tomorrow. I like that description. I didn't recognize him from our class, which must mean he was one of the other Hidden Block members. I didn't know whether I should scoff at him or ignore him, but before I could do anything, PPG held out his hand for a high five.
Hey.
Hey, Jeff. Jeff returned the gesture, and the two locked into a
Hey,
conversation.
what's up?
PPG, you pumped about the soccer match?
Yeah.
Yeah! I've been waiting for this day all summer.
Right on.
Are you busy? I'm trying to get the team together right now for a last-minute practice. You in? I am so in. I have nothing to do for the rest of the day. Are my cleats still in your locker? Yep. Awesome. Let's go then. Jeff briefly looked at me and pointed. PPG turned around, surprised I was still
Hana.
waiting. Oh! Hana! Sorry, I gotta go. See you in class tomorrow. I'll make sure to bring my thinking cap. He put on an invisible hat, then gave me a thumbs up. Oh, wait. Do you want to come to our game? It's in a few weeks and the first one of the year, so it would be cool if you came to watch us. Mostly me, because I'm the star player. Wow. Thanks.
Yeah.
Sure. Fuck it. That sounds really fun. I would love to come. Woo. Thanks. That really means a lot to me. Usually the first game doesn't conjure a big crowd. Can I bring mine? She might have planned on going anyways, but she was always including me in things. I wanted to do the same for her.
Yeah.
Totally. Bring as many people as you want. Fill up the stands. He left with Jeff, and I headed back to the dorms. I usually walked with me. It felt weird to be alone, and suddenly I realized it would feel even weirder to be in the dorm alone. Not knowing what else to do, I headed for the library. Might as well get started on some homework. I stayed in the library much longer than I had anticipated, head low over a small sheet of project ideas and a thick book. Okay. I don't know how long this has been. This has been very long. Looking at the file size, this has been very long. My throat hurts so much. We're gonna stop here. I can't keep going, guys. I can't do it. I don't talk a lot normally, so this is, like, hard. So, yes, we will pick back up from here, and... oh, that's safe slot 4. Fuck it. I will see you guys later.